Hallo zusammen. Mein Name ist Torsten.
Hello there, my name's Torsten. I'm responsible for the development of the driveshafts here at M GmbH. Today we're in the M transmission workshop and I'd like to tell you something about the new driveshaft of the current M3 M4.
Starten wir zunächst mal mit dem Vorgänger.
On the previous project we originally fitted a one-piece CFRP driveshaft.
Am Anfang verbaut gehabt, diese einteilige CFK-Gelenkwelle.
This one-piece CFRP driveshaft has the big advantage of being one piece and thus far lighter.
Unschlagbar ist. Auf der anderen Seite hat sie aber auch den Nachteil.
On the other hand, it has the disadvantage that the diameter has to be big enough for it to remain stable at high revs.
Während der Lebensdauer vom F8 XM3 muss man aufgrund einer Gesetzesanpassung.
During the lifetime of the F8 XM3, the diameter had to be reduced from 90 mm to 70 mm due to new legal requirements. This was necessary to be able to integrate the particulate filters, which are here in the front.
In den Bauraum integrieren konnten. Wir haben uns dann angeschaut, ob das möglich ist.
We then looked at whether we could manufacture a CFRP driveshaft in that diameter and found that at 70 mm it wouldn't be stable at high revs.
CFK, dass das nicht mehr von der Drehzahlfestigkeit funktionieren würde.
That's why we had to fall back on a two-piece steel driveshaft.
Beim neuen M3, M4 haben wir
For the new M3 M4, we have to adhere to new emission regulations.
und diese Verschärfung der
As a result of these new regulations, we had to further reduce the diameter of our driveshaft, above all here at the front, where the particulate filters are located.
Partikelfilter sitzen, nochmal reduzieren mussten. Das heißt ursprünglich mal
That meant that from the original 90 mm diameter of the predecessor, we're now down to 50 mm.
Millimeter. Wir haben uns dann am Ende des Tages das Ganze
We then looked to see if it would be possible to make the whole thing in CFRP in one piece to save as much weight as possible.
haben wir dann aber feststellen müssen, dass der erste
We established that if we manufactured it in CFRP, the weight advantage would have been lost because the thickness of the CFRP would have been such that at the end of the day, the difference in weight between CFRP and steel would have been negligible.
CFK und Stahl nicht mehr aufwiegt. Und das zweite ist, die Einteilung.
The other thing was, a one-piece shaft over the whole length with a diameter of 50 mm wouldn't have worked because it wouldn't have been stable at high revs.
Jetzt haben wir den Durchmesser
Now it has a diameter of 50 mm,
bei dem Durchmesser 50
and we've built in an innovative crash element.
eingebaut haben. Dieses Crash-Element
This crash element is being used in the M3 M4 for the first time.
zum Einsatz ist eine neue.
It's a new development at BMW which we initiated at M GmbH.
Das wird zukünftig auch bei
It'll be used in other BMW models in the future.
Crash-Elementen
And the crash element is innovative. There's never been a crash function in an installation space with this diameter before.
als Crash-Funktion noch nicht gibt.
And the whole thing works like this.
Strich so,
We have here a pipe,
Rohr am Ende des
and at the end of the pipe there's a serration. This serration is pressed into the outer tube here, and above a certain amount of force it breaks, or this connection decouples. The front part pushes itself onto and over the smaller diameter.
Durchmesser.
I'd now like to show you something else innovative on the driveshaft, or between the driveshaft and the rear axle transmission.
Da ist es so, wir haben ja hinten an
Here we've mounted the joint on the driveshaft and here on the rear axle transmission.
aufs Hinterachs getrieben. Und bei
And with one or two-part driveshafts, this connection here is very prone to vibration.
auf Vibration an der Stelle. Und
So we came up with a method to get rid of that.
Tages beseitigen. Gehen wir zu mal.
I'm going to use a model here, then it's easier to explain. We came up with something here, something very innovative, which we've had patented.
Das ist eine Kapsel.
It's a capsule filled with adhesive.
Es war recht aufwendig, diesen
It was pretty complicated getting the mixture of adhesive and air in the capsule right.
die wir hier innen drin sehen. Und wir
and we put the capsule here in the joint, and when we fit it to the rear axle transmission, I've brought along this part so you can see it properly. During the fitting, the capsule bursts, and thanks to the capillary effect that is created by the mix ratio of air and adhesive, the adhesive slides into the space we have here, fills it up, and seals the whole thing, so that at the end of the day, we no longer have any vibration in the vehicle.
So dass am Ende des Tages wir keine Vibration mehr im Fahrzeug haben.